from the 29-yard line. The kick is high, and the kick is good.
So he must have chosen the right two, wouldn't you say? He picked it out there.
6 plays, 54 yards, and the New York Giants grab the lead.
Well, hello. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to check out this video, and welcome to the Gridiron. And before I get started, I just want to say thank you so much. Everyone out there has been watching my videos. I greatly appreciate it. If you can give this video a thumbs up, or maybe leave a comment below, or possibly share this video, it would mean so much to me. But just anyway, just thank you so much for just taking time out of your day to watch this video. Thank you. We got the first win of the season, baby. Yeah. I think this is the first time I think, if I read someplace, since George Washington was in office, that the Giants and the Jets both won on the same day. Small miracle, I think it was about 360 years since both teams won actually on the same day. Wow. Holy cow, a big win. 27-21 in overtime over New Orleans. Now just let me, got some good, we got some bad, so I'll just start off with some of the bad things, okay? And, it doesn't matter what, whatever game you win or you lose, there's always some good, there's always some bad, so I'll just get the bad stuff out of the way with, okay? There's some recurring bad things, but, we'll try to get them out of the way with here. Now, one of the first things was no sacks. Not that we gave up, no sacks that we got, okay? Not a lot of pressure. Once again, we managed to make another quarterback look like the greatest quarterback of all time. Now, we have 6 sacks so far in 4 games. Last year we had 40 sacks. Apparently we upgraded our defense this year, supposedly, because we've got the X-Man back, we got Carter back from injury, we drafted Azeez Ojulari, right, we got Adoree Jackson, right, Xavier McKinney's playing most of this, he missed most of the season last year, so we got some upgrading, we did good, but so far we've got 6 sacks. We're on pace for about 25 sacks for the whole season. We're on pace for like 1.5 sacks a game. Unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable. Every drive that the Saints had, but 2, managed to go into the Giants' territory. I saw a stat one time during the course of the game. The Saints, 37 of their first 51 plays, offensive plays, were in Giants' territory. 37, and when they showed that stat, the Saints were in the Giants' territory. Okay, so the next 4 or 5 plays were in the, so the Saints had like 41 out of the first like 55 plays were in Giants' territory. I mean, you got to credit the Giants' defense, because it was kind of certainly bend but not break. But I mean, 37 out of the first 51 plays were in the Saints. We're in the Giants' territory. I mean, unbelievable. As I said, we managed to make Jameis Winston look like a Hall of Fame quarterback. His quarterback rating was 119.1. Okay. He was 17 out of 23. Completed 74% of his passes. The Giants are giving up 75% pass completion for the year. 75%. Absolutely, unbelievably pathetic. And at the top of the list, I'll be going into this gentleman a little bit more. It's like Jabrill Peppers. Going into the game, Jabrill Peppers was targeted 15 times, gave up 13 completions. It's like 86.5% completion percentage going up against Jabrill Peppers. You've got to be freaking kidding me. Unfortunately, what we got is fourth game. We got 13 games. So as long as we don't make the playoffs, you got 13 games left, probably in Jabrill Peppers' New York Giants career. There's no way in heck. I mean, because you guys going to want to get paid. I don't blame him. We got him on the 5th year right now, but next year somebody's going to sign him. And he's going to want to get paid. And hey, go whatever you can get. God bless you, brother. You know, I love his attitude, his spirit, all that stuff and everything. Love it. But if you're a safety and you're in a second and you can't cover, I mean, you've got to be kidding. We're going to give you 12, 13, 14 million dollars, even 10. I mean, are you serious? You know, we're going to have to draft somebody next year, or you know, get somebody on the cheap or something like that. But unfortunately, we can't keep Jabrill Peppers around if he can't cover. I mean, the time of possession. I mean, going into overtime, okay, because the Saints never got the ball in overtime. So going into overtime, the Saints had the ball for 37 minutes, 31 seconds. The Giants had it for 22-29. The Saints, after 60 minutes, the Saints had the ball for 15 minutes more than the Giants did. They had the ball for a full quarter more than the Giants did. I mean, it's amazing the Giants were even in this football game. Giants defense gave up 170 yards rushing. I mean, the Giants gave up another touchdown in the final 2 minutes of the first half. This is the fourth game in a row. Their defense has given up a touchdown in the final 2 minutes of the first half. Every game. Third down efficiency. The Saints were 8 out of 13. They completed 61. They converted, not bad, 61.5% of their third down conversions. 61.5%. Taysom Hill. Love the guy, love his spirit. I mean, there's not many guys who can be like a running back, a receiver, and a quarterback in the league and all that. I love the guy, all that stuff, Harry. But, I mean, now we're talking about the Giants defense here. His 8-yard touchdown run, I think I read he broke 7 tackles. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you kidding me? I mean, I understand. You know what I mean? It's at the end of a long drive, and the guys are tired, and they bring this guy in off the sideline who's drinking Kool-Aid for the past 10, 15 minutes or whatever, you know what I mean? And he's all full of piss and vinegar and everything, and you give him the ball. But you know what the guy's in the game for? I mean, are you kidding me? 7 tackles? What a freaking joke. Absolute joke. You guys should be ashamed of yourselves. James Bradbury, I mean, my God, he got torched. He gave up a 58-yard reception to Marquez Callaway. I mean, wow. I mean, more on his interception in a little bit. But, I mean, you know, I know he's going up against, you know, like usually the best receiver for the other team, but it's not Michael Thomas. I mean, you know, could you imagine if Michael Thomas was running around out there on the field? Imagine if we had Drew Brees from like 3, 4, 5 years ago when Drew Brees could actually throw the ball. I mean, how badly the Giants would have gotten lit up. I mean, my God. Unbelievable. The defense gave up over 400 yards of total offense once again. I mean, I thought we upgraded this defense. It's like you've got to. What a joke! Absolute joke. The Saints were 3 out of 3 on trips inside the red zone. 3 out of 3. The Giants were 1 out of 3. The Giants are 1 out of 3 in the red zone all 4 games. So therefore, they're 4 out of 12 in the red zone. They're converting at 33% in the red zone. 4 out of 12 for the season. 1 out of 3 today. Unbelievable. Graham Gano broke his streak. He missed a 35-yard field goal. I mean, talking about choking. I mean, the other 2 he made were like almost like right down the center. This one he winds up pulling. It's like, well, we wouldn't have had to go into overtime. Yeah, if the first 2 trips went into the red zone. We got 3 points out of it. First 2 trips. We missed a field goal and we got a field goal. I mean, I thought that's what we got Kyle Rudolph for. The red zone man. Unbelievable. Absolutely. That was just the first 2. I mean, we finally, the first 2 we only got 3 points out of. I mean, other teams like the Packers, good teams that have good quality offenses, score 14 points. That's 11 points more than what the Giants scored. give the Giants 11 points. The Giants wind up winning this one 32-21, and we don't even have to go in overtime. Right? Unbelievable. I mean, there's other little things you can nitpick here, but I mean, there's some of the same things over and over and over that you can't do. I mean, the Saints do not have an awesome offense. Right? They got Taysom Hill and they got Jameis Winston. And, Jameis Winston is not a Hall of Fame quarterback, guys. I'm sorry. And they do not have Hall of Fame wide. I mean, Michael Thomas isn't even out there. I mean, Christ, and you give it up 75% completion? I mean, but, all right, that's the end of the bad stuff. There's other things you can nitpick about, but it's a happy occasion, huh? Giants' first victory, 27-21 in New Orleans, overtime. Whew. Finally, off the schneid. We got 1-3, all right? Now we got time for our kudos, okay? The good stuff. Let's talk about some happy stuff, okay? Graham Gano, all right? He choked on that 35-yard field goal, but he was 31 seconds left, a 48-yard field goal, almost like dead on. Clutch, baby. Yes. The Giants had, this was obviously including overtime as well. They had 485 total yards of offense. Against a very good New Orleans defense. All right. In New Orleans, hostile territory. Crowd was going crazy, huh? And we had 485 yards of offense. Daniel Jones was 28 out of 40. 70% completion percentage, okay? 402 yards passing. He had 2 touchdown passes. He had 1 interception, which I'm not even calling it an interception because it was a Hail Mary at the end of the first half. The only reason why he threw it was because it was the end of the first half. It was a Hail Mary. If it was a normal play, he wouldn't have heaved it down there. New Orleans had 75 guys standing in the end zone anyway. So, it is what it is. It's always going to count against them and everything, but it wasn't like a, boneheaded interception throw or something like that. So, Daniel Jones done a phenomenal job at protecting the ball so far this year, okay, after the first 4 games, okay? He does not have a interception per se where he was trying to read the defense and it bounced off Evan Ingram's hands, or the defensive guy stepped in front of the ball, or Evan Ingram slipped and the defender got the ball. He hasn't none of that so far. So phenomenal job. Daniel Jones put the team on his back, okay, 3 times, which he hasn't done a well of a lot. He had a couple opportunities last year against the Bears, against the Rams. Put the team on my back. We got like a minute or 2 to go in the game. We got to score a touchdown, and if we score a touchdown, we could possibly win, and he just couldn't get it done. Today he did it 3 times in New Orleans with hostile fans out there, okay? We're down 21-10, okay, with 6:52 left to go. He hit Saquon on that 54-yard touchdown pass, okay? Then we're down. Then he ran the 2-point conversion in to make it 21-18. Then when we got the ball back with 3:01 left to go, okay, he drove us down the field. Get on my back, guys. We're going in the field goal range, right? He set the Giants up, for the game-tying field goal from Graham Gano, okay? And then in overtime, okay, he tied it 21-21. He took the Giants on a 9-play, 75-yard drive, okay, which ended in the Saquon Barkley 6-yard touchdown run. All right, so 3 times Daniel Jones in the final, 6 minutes and 52 seconds plus overtime, put the Giants on his back, drove him down the field, and they got scores. And it was huge. Could you imagine what, the Giants wound up losing this? They're 0-4. Can you imagine what the papers are going to say and all and everything? Wow, well, they won't be saying that at least tomorrow, or today anyway. They won't be saying, or this week coming up, okay? So because the Giants got to win. All right, now you got Saquon Barkley. The running, game wasn't that great, but the New Orleans has a very good run defense. The Giants didn't get 100 yards rushing, but they ran the ball 20 times, I believe it was, for 80 yards or something. They got about 4 yards a carry. They didn't run the ball a ton, okay? But, as I said, they ran the ball, okay, enough. They said New Orleans got a very good run defense. But what they did do was they had Saquon. Saquon had 5 receptions for 74 yards, and he wound up with 1 rushing touchdown and a receiving touchdown. But what they did was they put him out wide, right? Get the dude in space, all right? Like what Pat Shermer used to do when he was the coach and had Saquon. Get the guy's a good receiver. Put the dude out wide. Get somebody to come up and cover him. I mean, hell. I mean, you saw what he did with that route. I mean, my God, he was behind the cornerback. The cornerback was like looking, I don't know, looking at Daniel Jones, whatever it was. Saquon ran right by him. He was wide open. You get him in space, and good luck trying to tackle him. And they couldn't. He ran. He got him for the touchdown. Get the dude in space. Put him out wide. Oh, man, it was so good. So refreshing to see that. Kenny Golladay, right? 6 receptions, 116 yards. 19.3 yards of reception. Very good. Kadarius Toney. Huh? Gotta love it. 6 receptions, 78 yards, 13 yards of reception, okay? John Ross, 3 receptions, 77 yards. He averaged 25.7 yards of reception, and he had the 1 TD. James Bradbury, he had, the Taysom Hill is not a very good, throwing quarterback, and he didn't lead the receiver or nothing. As a matter of fact, the receiver stopped, and Bradbury jumped up, made the nice interception. But that was not a very good well-thrown ball. But James Bradbury, very, very, very important interception there. So that was very good to see. Logan Ryan and Tay Crowder led the team with 9 tackles apiece. It was good to see Tay Crowder in there because he had popped his hamstring apparently the week before. That's hamstring injury, I think, number 312 this year, I think. You lose count after. Once you get to 300, you lose count. But it's good to see him on the field. All right, he had, was tied for tackles. Tay Crowder with 9, so that's good. All right, the offensive line gave up 0 sacks, and against a very good front for New Orleans. Okay, and Daniel Jones dropping back to pass and just seeing him stand there. And it's like, wow. And we're missing Darius Slayton. Okay, we don't have Sterling Shepard out there. It's like, just imagine, if we actually had all our weapons out there, it would be a pretty good offense, if guys stop popping their hamstring, okay? But, the offensive line gets a lot of credit. As I said, they average like 4 yards a carry. Nothing phenomenal, okay? But they ran the ball, and I said, but they no sacks. Awesome. And that's with the new guard in there, huh? Skura's in there, right? So, you had Thomas, you had Skura, you had Price, you had Hernandez, and you had Solder, right? Usually Solder looks like, sometimes he's just standing still and you got a guy running right past him. Good this week. Really, really looked good. I was impressed. Wow. I love it. This was the first, obviously, win of the season, okay? And it was the first win ever in New Orleans for the New York Football Giants that Lawrence Taylor wasn't on the field. This is the 4th win in New Orleans. The New Orleans Saints have been around since 1967. This is 2021. Okay, 33, that's 54. It's like his 55th season, 55 seasons, I think. Okay. In those 55 seasons, we've only won in New Orleans 4 times. Haven't played in New Orleans 55 times, obviously, but we've only won in New Orleans since 1967 to 2021. We've only won in New Orleans 4 times. 3 of them, I think it was 85, 88, 93. We won 3 times in New Orleans. Lawrence Taylor was in the game all 3 of those times, okay? Take those 3 games out, the Giants had never won in New Orleans, okay? Except when Lawrence Taylor was on the field. This is the first win ever, and it was a big one. Obviously, the first game of the season, first win of the season, huge, right? And then you got C.J. Board, had that nice 26-yard punt return, okay, which helped set up that we were down 21-10 at the time. You got that nice punt return, set up the Saquon Barkley reception that ran in for a touchdown. So C.J. Board, you got to keep, his kickoff returns, punt returns, he's not taking the stuff to the house, but, he'll get you a nice one every now and then. As I said, we're not saying 70, 80-yard kickoff returns or, But I mean, he gets some good kickoff and punt returns, every now and then. So kudos to him. That was a big punt return. We needed that. We only had 3 penalties the whole game for 25 yards. I mean, I thought the offensive line would like jump off sides like 30 times or something. You know what I mean? I mean, with all the noise and everything, 3 penalties for 25 yards. The Giants only had 1 turnover, and that was the interception at the end of the first half, which to me isn't, not really a turnover. You know what I mean? So basically, the Giants were turnover free. And I said the only way the Giants could win this game, they had to play pretty much mistake free. If they had played mistake free, they'd give themselves a chance. I mean, they couldn't have no strip sack fumbles, run back for a touchdown, no pick sixes, no fumbles picked up, run back, no kickoff returns, run back. We can't have 13 penalties for 185 yards. We can't just bad play. We can't. We couldn't beat ourselves. All right, and they didn't, and they had a chance to win, and they came back and they wound up doing it. So kudos to them. All right, the defense gave up 170 yards rushing. Okay, but the longest run of the day was only 10 yards. Okay, so that's pretty impressive. All right, they just kept, because I mean, James Winston, with the wide receivers they got, okay, he's not gonna be able to walk them up and down the field just throwing the ball. Sooner or later, bad things are gonna wind up happening. Okay, and so that's why they stick. They have a good offensive line. They got Alvin Kamara. That's why they run the ball. They're very good at running the ball. And the Giants, gave up 170 yards, which is absolutely pathetic. But the longest run was only 10 yards. So you got to give him some credit there. John Ross, fast, okay? And his touchdown reception, he actually, if you look at it toward the end, he ran right past the cornerback. But it looks like when Daniel Jones threw the ball, like he actually had to kind of like slow up a little bit. He was like running. And Daniel Jones probably could have threw the ball like another yard or so down the field, because it looked like he had to like slow up a little. He was running and he turned back and caught it like right here. He could have, if Daniel Jones threw like another yard or two farther, John Ross just could have kept running, maybe, caught it maybe in stride and got into the end zone. But he had like come back a little bit forward, catch it here, and then he tumbled in the end zone. He lost the ball. He lost his shoe. He lost everything. But we wound up getting a touchdown. So who cares? But I mean, it was absolutely beautiful. That's why we got the guy. Speed. I mean, of course, I was just when after he tumbled and he got up, I'm like, man, please don't pop your hamstring, please. Looked like he made it through the game, okay. But that's why you got John Ross on the field. He only caught 3 receptions, but they were huge, right? So I mean, that's why you got the guy, right? Kenny Golladay and Daniel Jones. They seem to be, getting a little more comfortable with each other, right? Kenny Golladay with those six catches, 116 yards receiving, all right? They seem to become, a little more and more familiar with each other, right? Every passing week now. Hopefully, I don't want to jinx nothing. Hopefully they can stay healthy, and hopefully better times will just keep coming. But I mean, to have Kenny Golladay and Daniel Jones on the same page, huge, very, very huge, okay? Kadarius Toney, my God. That guy got some moves or what? Now you saw like the joystick, like, you know what I mean? Oh, I'm going to press the X and the O at the same time, and he's going to do this. And did you see how many jock straps he left on the field? The Saint players just trying to tackle him, couldn't even touch him. Man, what moves he had. That was refreshing to see. It was the first time seeing a bunch of moves like that in the same game. Hopefully, Jason Garrett can keep getting him more and more plays, more and more catches and all that. And he had 6 of them in this game, which is more than what he had in the first 3 games combined. Okay, so big game for him. Very, very, very good. Now, and then also you have Saquon Barkley, right, showing his moves, right? I mean, you seen him doing some moves. See the run he got at the end of the game to score the winning touchdown. Like he kind of like barreled his way into the end zone, right? Very impressive. The moves he had on that 54-yard touchdown reception, very impressive. He caught it and he faked out the other defender who was coming trying to catch it, and they couldn't even touch him. Saquon's looking a little healthier and healthier all the time, so you gotta love it. Now there was no major injuries that I could see after reading articles and stuff. After that, the only thing I saw was Jabrill Peppers. Okay, pop popped his hamstring, okay? So we'll have to wait and see if he'll be better for the next week coming up against the Cowboys. If we don't have him in the lineup, it won't be a huge loss because the Cowboys got a wonderful passing offense, and if he can't cover, it's like, why even having him on the field? I mean, it's almost like putting Nate Ebner out there, right? So we'll have to keep an eye on him. Hopefully we get some of the guys that are a little banged up. Maybe Darius Slayton, maybe Sterling Shepard, maybe Ben Bredesen, maybe some of those guys can get back a little bit healthy, and we can get them back in there. We'll have to wait and see. But as I said, we got the big game next week. The Cowboys, once again, they beat the Panthers. Once again, the Cowboys put up a boatload of points, right? Cowboys are 3-1. Washington football team came from behind to beat the Falcons, right? So Washington football team is 2-2. The Eagles lost. Oh, yes, I love it. I absolutely love it. I hate the Eagles. The Eagles are 1-3 and the Giants are 1-3. So we got a huge game coming up this week because, the Giants are 1-3. If they lose to the Cowboys, they're 1-4. There'll be 3 games behind the Cowboys. We've only played 5 games, and there'll be 3 games behind the Cowboys. And next week the Giants, we're going to have to score points. Duh, no kidding. But I mean, because the Dallas Cowboys offense is going to put up some points. I mean, the Cowboys offense is probably going to put up at least 30 points against the Giants. I just hate saying it, but sometimes the truth hurts. Nobody's been able to stop their running game, their passing game. The only thing that's going to stop the Cowboys would be injuries, right? I mean, if they get started, like one game after the other, they start getting a boatload of injuries and stuff like that. That's the only thing that would slow them down. I mean, their defense is nice. It's not the best defense in the world, but it's adequate enough when they put up as many points as they do, okay? But, I mean, the only thing that's going to slow the Cowboys down will be injuries, so I said so. Giants, coming home, got a big, huge game that's coming up this next Sunday. It's at 4:25, I believe it is. So we'll have to wait and see. I mean, it'll be a huge game, but I mean, at least we got the first win of the season. And finally, when the newspapers come out this week and all that stuff and everything, it won't be nothing but negativity. At least we'll have, a little bit of fresh air, a little bit of positive news being talked about the New York Giants this upcoming week. Well, as always, guys, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to check out this video. You guys stay safe out there and go Giants. Woo!